What's up guys, it's Flipman Dan, and on this week's episode, I'm gonna show you how to flip old pallet wood into a living garden like you see behind me. Now this episode was filmed 5 years ago when I set out to make all new patio furniture, a complete set, utilizing completely recycled material. Now we're gonna start with these pallet gardens, but we're gonna also show you how in depth we built actual pallet couches, this Arizona flag that we got going on here, and a whole bunch of other things. So stay tuned till the end so I fill you in on what changed with the pallet garden and how I made it better and what lessons I learned along the way. Please subscribe for more content on flipping and DIY projects, and enjoy. Today is going to be pretty interesting. What are we doing today here, Sam?
Well, we are making a living wall. And what is that, you ask? A living wall is a pallet-made garden, basically. It's gonna have, edibles in it growing. We're also gonna have some flair with some nice flower. You know, you gotta make it look good at the same time, and then, you go pluck some spearmint, eat that, sniff a flower. It looks beautiful.
It does.
Very easy to make, at the same time, kinda hard.
Cool, I'm stoked to get started. One of the things that we're gonna be doing a little differently than other pallet walls is we're actually going to be cutting the pallet so there's only 3 slots instead of the full 5 or 7 if you have a bigger pallet. This will make weight a little bit less and kind of give us more options with the remaining pallet wood that we're going to be using later. Ease on down that road, baby. Now this will later become a wine rack. Yeah. I was like, why you no cut? Down she goes.
This right here, it was a little thin. We wanted a little bit more open, so we actually decided to take them off an inch on each row besides the top, because we got more room. This is great. So this way we're gonna actually have more plants visible in our living wall. But what next is we're gonna actually go ahead and we're gonna sand it.
This is a piece of shit. We painted the pallets, the 4 colors that we have. So before we stain the wood, we're definitely gonna stain the middle pallets, but we're considering staining the painted pallets. So instead of doing it just straight out, we painted a piece of scrap wood here. We're gonna see how it looks when we stain it. So we got a much lighter stain this time. Doesn't look like much. Dude, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so let's hit the whole thing with stain. After hitting it with a layer of stain here, you can see that it's definitely not overpowering, and it kind of looks, I think it looks cool. We painted it and we made sure not to cover the boards completely in paint. As you can see, when you do this, this allows the stain to seep through the paint and kind of make the bright colors pop. Now it's time to put this mesh in. So we measured that the space in between the little cubby holes is 15 7/8 inches. It's probably different for you. Just go ahead and tape measure it. So we're gonna measure this 15 7/8 and then cut it, and then we're gonna cut the piece in half. And by cutting it in half, we'll get 2 pieces out of it. So it's totally up to you what your roll is like. Just make the measurements and cut accordingly. All right, day 2. Yesterday we painted, stained, and sealed this with a spray sealer, a non kind of staining sealer, clear one, and let it kind of soak in overnight. Today, we are putting in soil and putting in our plants that we bought. We got a whole bunch of different plants, some flowers, we got cilantro, some pepper. So now we want to see before we mount it that the soil won't collapse through here and and the thing will fall apart.
We're also going to drill into this brick right here. The problem is with mounting into brick is you got to make sure that you have the proper screws for it, or it's not going to actually hold or take to it. Anyways, what we're doing is probably about 30-40 pounds, maybe even more, so you got to make sure you have the right stuff to get the job done.
Hopefully it doesn't collapse and murder someone, so.
Right.
This is kinda...
Boys, we got to measure it up, get it hung. We're gonna also anchor them in with these concrete screws because we got to go through brick, so it's gonna be quite the challenge. And then for that, you have to have a special drill bit, concrete bit. You can't just use any drill
bit.
bit.
This one actually comes with the screws, so that's pretty convenient.
Yeah.
All told, the screws and the bit and those hanger things are about a little north of 20 bucks. Plants cost 50 or so. That's perfect. That should do it, man. Okay.
Yeah, that was perfect.
All right. So much easier. Just fucking do it that way.
Actually
All right.
feels good.
So a job well done. We hung these things in concrete, which was quite the feat. I mean, we had to juggle it around a little bit after some mismeasurements, but always measured twice, cut once. We measured once, so lesson learned.
Right.
How do you feel about this project?
I feel great.
Right. I hope it survives the summer.
Yeah. Or me.
Oh. But all in all, definitely had fun with this project. You should try it out yourself, and it's really a win-win for not too much money. So get out there, make some mistakes, and join us next time.
And remember, okay? All right.
You want to do another take?
No, I was just good. That was like literally the joke. And remember, it keeps people hanging on.
Month update on the living pallet wall here. So as you can see, some plants are thriving, others are dead or dying. Cilantro completely dead. This, I think this is some type of mint or something. It's completely dead. These red flowers were the first to die. The orange ones as well didn't stand a chance. But the red one is now blooming again. This bloomed a couple days ago. Yellow ones are hanging on here. So moral of the story, in our desert climate, in direct sunlight, the flowers really have no chance, except for, you know, this one's actually has done pretty well. This white flowering kind of weed plant. But the other green plants are doing very well. You could see I think this is thyme, or this is basil. I don't know, whatever they are, they're doing well. These peppers have grown significantly and are hopefully going to give us some peppers here a little bit down the road. I don't know when they bloom or something, but the stalks definitely have grown significantly. And I believe this is habanero and this is Tabasco, yeah. So this will give us little peppers and this will give us the hottest orange one. So, but yeah, other than that, every day I come out and water it with 32 ounces of water in one of those squirt bottles. Just dump a whole squirt bottle every morning onto this. One thing I would have done differently is actually get the weed liner that you put on the loops that you create in the pallet, because there is a little bit of soil loss every time I water it. A little bit comes out of the bottom. So with the weed liner it would help, but you know, it's not too crazy significant. This does a serviceable job, so I wouldn't say total failure, but definitely weed liner would help. I hope yours turned out good as well. And now we will move on to our next project, which is the pallet couch. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. So as you can see, in 2020, the pallet wall has changed a little bit. Obviously, it's gotten darker since I first stained the wood a light color. That was on purpose to match the pallet couch that I have below me. But also, a little secret, I changed out all the living plants for fake plants that I got on Amazon. So with the overhang that was installed a few years back, it became a little difficult to keep these plants alive, especially in the summer months in Arizona when they just got toasted. And then I moved my living garden off-site to a raised planter box over on the side of my house. And that's kind of where I keep all of my edibles and flowers and whatnot. Stay tuned for more DIY content where I show you how we built an entire pallet couch, cushions and all, from scratch, and as well as this flag behind me. So thanks again for tuning in. Once again, I'm Flipman Dan.